Hello. So this is I'm going to review my current Scorpio team, pick out what ace that I'm looking to improve here to make it just a little bit better, to hopefully make and then win graded A finals. So the first one we have is I rolled this really good Saiyan Sky. I messed it up a little bit in that I didn't look up the conditions on Game Tora for restart, and this doesn't have an ability to proc within the first 5 seconds. So I theory crafted that if I could restart other Silent Suzukas, I could make the lobby act like I had the only Silent Suzuka, which has a pretty good win rate when it is unchallenged, and therefore unstamina reduced. But when I looked up the conditions, it doesn't work. Then I had random extra skill points to buy sympathy. So instead of those two abilities, I could have definitely gotten front runner corners too, and maybe medium corners too as well. I don't remember what the hint levels were on any of these three abilities, but outside of that small mistake, this Saiyan Sky is an absolute beast. She needs a little bit more speed to be absolutely perfect, but 1160 is perfectly fine with medium S. She has Duty of Dignity Calls to just get that little extra boost to maybe get her own angling and scheming. Her initial excel is very powerful with a skill check groundwork. In Frontrunner, Savvy's guaranteed, but then she needs to hit Focus or Taking the Lead. Or Focus and Taking the Lead, sorry. And then she can get her groundwork, but she does have 660 wit, so that should happen most of the time. Then her mid game is crazy with up tempo, medium straightaways, medium corners, front runner straightaways, front runner corners, and tail held high. So she will end up in a really good position. This is the deck that I used for it, so pretty affordable. If you held your carrots for the Kitasan rerun, this is what it ended up with. I am pretty heavily a free to play. If we kind of reviewed some of my cards, like I'll just show what my speed cards look like. Just to kind of give an idea of what this looks like. So I don't have a maxed out Biko, I don't have a maxed out Sweep Tosho or Shinko Windy. I used an SR selector to get a King Halo. And then I have Aizen Flash. Aishin Flash is my only MLB SR. Then the second member of our team is Maruzensky, which is the one that I actually rolled from my video because it was a really good high roll. So Duty of Dignity Calls will help it get into position. Shooting for Victory will give it extra excel if it's third or fourth. If it happens to get first, it'll proc Angling and Scheming. Or if my Suzuka dies dueling another Suzuka, it could go Shooting for Victory past both Suzukas before the corner is over, and anytime you take the lead on the final corner, you can proc Angling and Scheming. She has Taking the Lead, and she has a skill check groundwork in left-handed focus and Taking the Lead, or if I get lucky, Target and Sight seems kind of likely in this CM based on the meta. Her mid game's pretty strong with up tempo, medium straightaways, front runner straightaways, front runner corners. 813 stamina is decent, but I decided to give her Moxie just to kind of guarantee that. And then she did not roll medium S, but everything else is pretty good, especially because she got all three really good front runner alties inherited, which actually means she got a grandparent altie. And then the last member of our team is our Suzuka, which is a runaway. It has guaranteed groundwork between frontrunner, savvy, left-handed, and runaway. It has Taking the Lead. Its mid-game is okay with up-tempo and medium corners. And then its win condition, if it happens to be first, is that it has 1200 speed, Duty of Dignity calls, Angling and Scheming, and Unrestrained. So if Unrestrained and Angling and Scheming proc at the right time, there's a good chance that that she'll win. So out of those three, the one most likely to, I think, be improved and matter is Marizensky, because in round 2 I'm expecting to see a lot of Silent Suzukas. So building a better Silent Suzuka I don't think actually has too much value, because most of the Suzukas will just kill other Suzukas. If I don't see that today, I might work on Silent Suzuka tomorrow. And then I don't think I'm rolling higher than the Saiyan Sky. I don't even know what it would be outside of correcting my skill choice of Restart and Sympathy to instead be Frontrunner Corners 2. But that's if I'm even offered those skills. So this is kind of a crazy high roll that I wouldn't even try to be able to beat. Whereas this Marizensky I can maybe beat, and I'm also experimenting with kind of a bit of a different idea on my support card deck. So I'll go over that. We'll do it in Showtime too, because I'm kind of getting a little low on time to finish the rewards. I was using my Boros to get there. And I don't know, if this run is going to be an ace, it will probably need to be better than that. It'll probably be able to need to clear Showtime too. The first one we're bringing is my own Saiyan Sky. I think it's this one. So it's a Stamina 3, Medium 2, and then the pinks are really bad on these top two parents. But these are parents that I worked on for a really long time, so their whites are absolutely insane. In having groundwork on both of them, Unity Cup on one, and that's a 2-star Stamina and 2-star Guts. Our other guest parent will be this Taiki. And I'm choosing this Taiki because it has Measure McQueen as a grandparent, so it can potentially get that extremely valuable inherited ulti. It's a 2-star power, 3-star stam, 6-star stam, which is really good. And then I'm looking for the high roll on Ura Finales as well. So there's a couple things going right in this, and then it's also a 7-star medium. The idea I'm going with now is, in my video I borrowed a Rico, but what I'm doing for this one is I'm going to try borrowing a Biko instead. And then I get a lot of hints for the white recoveries, so I'm going to use that to get the stamina instead of trying to have natural stamina. And then with the better stats, try to run a couple extra races to afford that, so that the high roll is just kind of a little bit more possible. While I am doing my run, I will go over kind of the decision-making process that I'm following. So in this initial phase, we're just going to look to improve our bonds as fast as possible generally. We're not going to look to improve mood, because as soon as we get a Rico, we can get a guaranteed mood up, and then some of our other cards have mood up events as well. There's not really too much of a focus on what categories the cards are in. It'll be more which cards are where. Oh, this is a really good training. 13% is like a little risky, but it is a triple train with a double speed card on it. So it's okay. I think that was also the speed bonus wit card as well. That was actually a really strong early training. And it would hurt to be set back by it, but it's okay. This would have been a really good second speed, but it is not worth the 54% chance. So we will rest because there wasn't a good wit training. That's why we took a look, because if there was like 4 or 5 characters on wit, that might have been the best option. So you always want to explore your options. This is an okay training. It raises bond with 2 cards, as well as gets us to great mood with our first training of Rico. And that's why we didn't think about recreationing early. If you make a deck that doesn't include Rico, then recreationing on one of the first 2 turns is pretty good. This is a little unlucky to get this event while we're at full energy, but it is what it is. We'll take the bubble production, as well as 2 characters getting relationship, and Rico getting her to green is pretty much a top priority when it comes to running a Rico, because you want to start getting the recreation events as soon as possible, because that is her biggest advantage, is guaranteeing that there are above average turns when, in case the turns are bad. It does require you to be missing some energy to be above average, so I sometimes take races instead. And then if you get a mood down, it's pretty much the best turn. You're not going to have a chance to make a better turn outside of a multi-rainbow or like 4 or 5 bond build. Maybe 3 bond build could be equal, but it would be a hard sell. So we're going to take, even though this has the Rico and could go to green, we're going to go for the Wit because it has 0% chance of failure. If anyone ever has any questions, just type it in the chat and I'll respond as soon as I see it. None of these turns are particularly good. This one is okay, but has a 4% chance of failure, which might leave us, and it would leave us without an option to take a training next turn, so I don't think it's worth giving up that opportunity cost. We take our debut race. Should be an easy win. We have 264 speed. We did have B sprint, so there's like a tiny bit of risk there, but it's pretty guaranteed. We did bring enough race bonus to get the +4s, which is really nice. If when you're designing a deck, don't really design around 35 skill race bonus. But if you happen to hit it and are deciding between 2 cards that are kind of close, and you're close to that value point, it can be enough to tip over the edge as a tiebreaker. This is a really nice, strong training with 4 cards. Pretty much always take the energy. Energy just gives you a lot of options on what to do on any given turn. So keeping the energy management is probably the #1 thing that will prevent low rolls and stop you from having to take risky trainings that might ruin a run. Because any failed training, if you fail 2 trainings, that run is over. If you fail 1 training, it can maybe be recovered by some high rolls. But 2 trainings is pretty much absolutely unrecoverable as an ace. We've been getting really lucky on our trainings. This is some really fast and efficient bond building. We even get a Spirit Burst to basically guarantee our first Unity Cup races. So Rico's already at green, so it's not actually very important to train with her, so I would actually treat her as a rainbow right now of orange. So this becomes this double card. Before Rico's green, she is the #1 tiebreaker. Pretty much always take her if you have pretty equal options. So if we had energy, this is a really good training. And that's why energy management is important, because if we had like a bit more energy, we've been using our turns well, so it's not important there. But having to give up good trainings because you're out of energy can hurt on the high end of an ace a lot. So this one's kind of on the edge. It's a rainbow plus a bond build, but it's going to run us into kind of the danger zone of forcing our decision. Because if we get a good training, it's probably going to be like a 15 to 20% failure chance, and we might need to give it up. Yeah, so it would have been like a 15% failure chance, but none of them are good, so that's pretty good luck that we're not baited. A double rainbow this early is kind of crazy. This is kind of the reason why I'm trying the Biko instead of Rico build. Is the double speed rainbows with Biko instead of King Halo can give a lot more room. None of these are particularly strong, so Rico gives a energy cost reduction, so this is kind of a little cheaper than normal, and we do need stamina at some point, and we can get the stamina event on her. It also happens to have a mood up possibility event, but rolling mood up on those events is probably something like 1 in 10, 1 in 20. Like, it's probably not going to happen, and most of the time you just want to be sitting on great mood anyways, especially with having Rico up there to give you a good turn that increases mood guaranteed as soon as you can unlock her recreation events. Unlocking her recreation events in junior year is really high value, because you'll see in between the years there will be an event that you only get if you've started the recreation. This is an incredible training. Double rainbow again. Exiting junior year with over 400 speed is insane. We'll see if the luck kind of keeps up. Hopefully it does. Because of how refined my current ace is, it's a lot down to the inheritances. I need to get medium S and groundwork for it to kind of even have a shot of replacing my current ace. I used to consider taking the top option when I was an E-rank team, but I have been punished too many times now, losing that race. And losing a Unity race kind of throws the run, because your training facilities are going to be de-leveled for the rest of the run. So now I just kind of take the safe option every time. I think it's not worth the risk. It is possible to win it, and it will make a high roll even higher, but it's a crazy high risk. So this is the event that we got because we got recreation events unlocked. None of these turns are particularly powerful, so we have two choices, which is our Rico training with +1 or our Bond build. And this time around I'm going to go for the Bond build, but this is a pretty even choice. You could go with either. It wouldn't make or break a run at all. That was also a candidate for a Rico recreation. I didn't think about it fast enough, but it would have been an okay option as well. All pretty equal. We'll take the guaranteed energy and wit. Energy management is key. So these stats are really important for us because we're not running a stamina card or a power card. But energy is just so much value. Pretty much we have a waste turn and get some more wit, bond increase, or a Rico. But Rico on guts isn't that much value, so it's pretty much down to these two. It could also be a race. We'll see what the race options are. It's G3s, which is fine, but they're a mile, so they're a bit riskier. And then there's also do one of our 5 recreations. We're missing the energy, so I think I'm going to do a recreation. We'll be pretty close to the cap, so if we hit Rainbow Wits, it'll be a little sad. But, oh, okay, that's really sad that we hit a mood down event as soon as we use energy. That's almost punished for a safe play. We have the Rainbow, or we have the Spirit Burst on Power with a Rico. I'll use the Spirit Burst on Power with Rico because it does save a bit of energy, but the Spirit Burst spends extra energy, so it's actually letting us go even lower. And that'll make our Rico date a little bit more valuable. It also gets us front runner corners. That's a really strong start. We'll see. Okay, we can't go on a date because a double Rainbow Wit will not be... It's not very common. And then we're going to be too high energy, so... And goal races. So it's going to be a while till we get that mood to great. But during races, mood doesn't matter too much because It'll just make it more likely to win. It won't change any of the numbers that we get. Our speed is kind of insane for this point in the run, so these should be easy races. It is on Showtime too, so there's like a small chance that the races are too hard to be like guaranteed. Pretty much the only thing we're looking for in this inspiration is groundwork or medium S. We got the Ura finale we weren't looking for, which makes the stats a bit better. But we didn't hit the two important things that will make or break the run as a refined ace. Oh, hi Moon. If you have any questions during my run, just let me know. That's a pretty good wit turn again, so our mood might end up waiting till summer mood ups, because that's a little unlucky how good our wit trainings have been since we needed a mood. The suffering from success. We'll use the Spirit Burst just to spend a little bit more energy to hopefully make the Rico dates a bit better. Okay, double rainbow. And finally a bad turn. So this is a bit greedy, but I could take the G1 and then hopefully end up with no bait trainings and then do a rest for a mood up in summer. The safer option is definitely to just go on a Rico date here, but then if it's a little sad if we have bad trainings on the first day of summer. Our first inheritance was a little bad, so I'm gonna just go for the higher risk play with higher reward. Okay, we get the mood up, but our energy pretty much only lets us take a wit training. Uh, 5% chance for a wit failure is a little weak. There is the secret event. That is a good point. That is something to consider. We can go look at the value of the secret event, because I think I remember it not being too good unless you're mood downed. So we'll take a look. Game Torah. Training event helper. Change it to Maruzensky. All stats plus 3, skill points plus 60, mood plus 3. It's not a weak turn. It's kind of like taking a G1. Because I think these all stats are also modified by race bonus. I think this is actually a plus 4. So it's kind of, it just treats Radio and Nikkei as a G1, which would also be good. A G1 that gives you plus 3 mood. But we're not currently missing any mood. But that was a good suggestion. And definitely something you could consider at any time. If we gain the energy from Wit, we'll have about a 20% chance of failure on the next speed. I think that's okay. Yeah, the Takazuka Cannon was kind of like the risky G1, so the play you're suggesting is like kind of like a safe version of it. That's true. Just take the energy again, and our next will be training eligible. Nothing good, so we'll just take the energy. Resting during summers without mood downs is a little sad, but almost required. I apologize. My bad. Sorry. Yeah, still a little new to streaming. I apologize. We have a Spirit Burst on power with Rico, so that's a pretty strong turn, as well as a single rainbow speed. The facility up makes the power pretty good, and the Spirit Bursts, we're kind of only looking for stamina and powers if possible. I feel like I get mood downs at the end of summer every time. We're missing a bit of energy, so we could use a Rico date. I think it's just the power, but we're not too happy about it. And another mood down. Guess neither of those were outstanding, so we'll go for the mood up again. We rapidly used a lot of those dates. Yeah, we could take the G1 here. Because the single rainbow for not a lot of energy on Wit isn't that great. We're at 476 stamina, so I think we could take the Kukuka Show, which will be reliable as long as we don't end up against like a Super Creek. I think nothing beats our double rainbow speed turn. I don't even know if I need to look anywhere else. Right-handed doesn't work on the track, so we'll just take the skill points. Otherwise, that's one of kind of the main reasons you would bring Matikane, is the guaranteed right-handed for right-handed CM is incredible value, especially with her being scenario linked this CM. I kind of want to spend energy here so that we're energy deficit going into the New Year's events. Normally, my risk appetite would have me not take 11%, and that's why. Unlucky. But I did want to be missing some energy going into the new year. And if I went for a rest turn, we'd be awfully close to the top end, and there's no real good races for Marzensky in that early December. Third. Unfortunate. As long as we don't have a good second inheritance, I won't feel bad about that. If we have a really good second inheritance and it ends up being a really good run, having that 11% fail kind of torpedo the run from being absolutely top tier will hurt a lot. This would be the better turn, but it leaves us limited upside on the follow-up New Year's event, the raffle. So we'll take the kind of suboptimal turn and hope that we high roll. Or okay roll. We're probably missing less than 20 energy as well. Okay, we get our mood back up and we get 20 energy. That's good. Take the 10 more energy. None of those races are good, so we'll check, or none of those trainings are good, so we'll check the races. We have a G2 mile, or we're at 3 out of 5 dates. So we could spend one here. If I spend one, I am a little close to limiting the upside of wit rainbows, but it's not too bad. We could still take a single wit rainbow. Oh, we can still take a double wit rainbow, actually. We're very close to the cap, so we will take the double wit rainbow. I thought we'd be a little bit over. I guess if we really high rolled and hit the triple wit rainbow, we would have been over. Solar Front is usually a bit bad, but we're kind of so overstated from being lucky and on an ace run that I think it's okay. But I sometimes consider moving back to pace if you're going to be a solo front, because there's not going to be that dueling kind of pushing the fronts further forward. Gold is nice. I like to see that color. We didn't hit groundwork or medium S, so this run will be dead compared to my other ace run. Normally this would switch into a parent run at this point because it literally cannot replace my current ace, but I'll continue treating it as an ace run for kind of educational purposes. We'll hit the double speed rainbow. What we're looking for by the end of summer is probably about 1,000 speed, so that we can hit 1,100 speed for the end of the year, so that we can hit 1,200 speed for the end of the run. That's usually the most important stat to monitor, is the progression of your speed, but you could also look at kind of the other stats. I just have less good of a reference point for how they grow, and if I see a good speed turn, I would completely ignore the other ones. Because stamina can generally be resolved by buying recoveries, you see. And then power and wit are just luxury compared to speed. 1-to-1 with power, I would always take. That's a pretty lucky event. 1-to-1 power to speed, I would always take the speed. Unless it puts me over the cap. Which, right now we're actually getting close to that point, because we're almost 1,000 speed going into summer. We'll probably take the Meguro Kinnin for extra points, because our best turn is kind of a 7 stamina, 15 power, which isn't great. we'll need to fix that mood. None of these turns are good enough to ignore that, and hopefully we could have waited for summer. I kind of rushed that. That was something to consider. And then we could have saved the Rico date for later if we get another mood down. There have been a lot of mood downs on this run. Single rainbow speed. That'll bring us to kind of the 1,000 guideline we're looking to go into the end of summer with. None of these are good, so we'll rest. Pick our single wit rainbow. This is a very questionable decision, but a solo Kitasan rainbow in summer isn't actually that valuable. And it's a little bit more like a parent run at this point. So I'm actually going to go for the skill points. I think that's a bit of an iffy decision, and I'm not 100% confident in what the right choice would be. You go for the triple up arrow, or we could just do the single wit rainbow with a bit of wasted energy. Or I think there's a G2. Yeah, it's a sprint G2, so we only have B affinity for it. I think there's a proper G2 here, so we... Okay, I might be getting baited into the G1 sprint, though. I think we have too much speed to not win. And it's a parent run now. The absolute base for wit would be about 400. And then after that, it varies on how much your deck is wit that would be good. So because this is a 3-wit deck, I'm looking for a minimum of 700. But 400, probably no matter the character or position, you want 400. A bit higher on frontrunners, probably around 600. And because of my deck composition, I'm looking for like at least 700. If it doesn't hit, and I'm a bit disappointed if it doesn't reach 800. It wouldn't be the end of the world to not reach 800 though. It is a luxury stat. The most important thing is getting the 1150 to 1200 speed, as well as the stamina to live, which for this race, for this upcoming CM is going to be 800 stamina. But you can supplement it with whites. So I will probably end up at like 750 because of my deck composition of borrowing our Rico instead of using MLB SSR Rico Borrow. So I will almost definitely be buying a white recovery. And then my wit will give me about a 90% chance to proc it. So 90% of the time I'll live as long as there aren't debuffers. The safest way is just reaching the stamina straight up, and then you don't have to rely on a wit check to live. Could go for the power. Where are we? Oh, we're at a G1. We could do the Queen Elizabeth race. This is a little bit more optional races than I typically like. I think a good ace run takes around 4 optional races, and I think we're already past that. If we end up with really, really good skills, then it's worth it. But once you get up about around the 4, it's almost a little challenging to have good enough hints to be worth it. This is kind of a hard decision here. We have a Rico boosted double speed rainbow, or we have the safe double wit rainbow. And then it's also a level 5 speed facility versus a level 4 wit facility. We're pretty close to already reaching our speed target anyways, so that's what makes this option a little less valuable than normal. So I'll take the wit. I think we'll still reach 1200 speed anyways, so that was kind of like a power boosting speed turn instead. Yeah, so 650 on a backliner is quite a lot, because backliners want a bit more power because they have a higher top speed in the late race. Assuming you're building this for your late Taishin. So power is a bit more valuable for them than wit. I think your cards were also a little bit better, so maybe a 500 baseline for wit for you. 400 is like the absolute bottom tier. It's something kind of like a free-to-play player would hit in Libra Cup, where the stamina requirement's kind of insane. Suzuka. Okay. 650 on a Suzuka is enough. Yeah, 600 for a frontrunner. Suzuka also, I find, a little less stats because you need to take a lot of races to get all the required skills on her. Like, her skill point requirements are brutal. Oh, we finished our dates. Huh. We have nothing to fix that mood with. It is a parent run. I'll take the Air McKinnon. Yeah, I'll show you my Suzuka stat line after this run that I'm pretty satisfied with. And then the deck that I had for it. Yeah, we're gonna hit the speed requirement just through wit training, so that's pretty valuable. Our stamina is gonna be a little low. We didn't hit the kind of stamina turns that I'd look for hitting stamina directly, which would be Rico combined with the training effectiveness of Biko Pegasus and Kita-san. So Biko has, I think, the most crazy training effectiveness. I think 20% is the highest that currently exists right now. And she has that. Kita-san has 15 as well. Yeah, she has the unique perk of 5 and training effectiveness 10. And then Rico would reduce the stamina consumption on it. So we didn't get kind of that god roll that really lets me comfortably hit stamina and not feel like I have to just because my stamina is so low. Yeah, getting discounts on McQueen Inherits is really good for that. So here's actually where we'll take stamina but not be super happy about it. Our other turns are just pretty bad. We have no Rico dates left. It is the best of the bad options. I think our speed will end up a little under 1200. It'll be 1185, I think, and that's perfectly usable. I should have bought skills. I kind of goofed there. Okay, it didn't matter. But on some weaker aces, this could matter that I did not buy skills to face those two, at least on a harder showtime. I think if this is showtime 4, on a parent run I did that, and I could not beat them. I think it was my front Symboli Rudolph parent, and I just failed the run. Yeah, the stat line we hit was really nice, this one. Oh, 1197, actually very close. That was perfectly min-max, basically. 750 stamina, so it's a little edged, and I'd probably buy a white recovery. 774 power is solid, 841 wits, really good. 500 guts is just kind of what you end up at. Like, we saw that we didn't really hit guts, and it was fine. We didn't hit the grandparent high roll that we could have with the McQueen ulti. This is a solid option if we end up with too many points, which we probably will because we took so many G1s and extra races. Focus. Early. Oh, we never got taking the lead event. That's actually also an ace killer. Fast paced. So a 112 recovery is one of our options. And our other option... Oh, we weren't offered the other recovery of uphills. That's interesting. So 112 just is our best. I think we didn't get corner recovery hints either. Yeah, we didn't. Then up tempo is a very value mid race skill. Distance, corners, and front runner and style straightaways and corners are both value. I wonder why we got late surge of straightaways and corners. That must have been from one of our cards. Ignited Spirit Speed for 180 is quite expensive. If we had groundwork, we'd buy groundwork here and then look at our conditions to proc, and they're not very good. We have focus and we have early lead. So I'd kind of reach and be like, target and sight kind of works. Outer post proficiency kind of works. Because you... As a front runner, if you don't proc groundwork, you have a very low chance of winning that race. We have our extra points, so we will buy Professor of Curvature. Oh, we do have straightaway recovery, which is a little bit weaker than Rosy Outlook and corner recovery. But if this was max discount, I would consider that an option. But it's equal discount. Straightaway Adept is okay. That heavily discounted at least. And then if it was a real run, I would take probably front runner corners too. But because this has no chance of being a real ace, I'm actually just going to buy something that might make it a better parent in Productive Plan. Yeah, our stat line we hit was really strong. 14-2. And a lot of abilities. Oh, that was actually the rating record. Okay. Yeah, 19 races is quite a lot for an ace. I would typically want to be around 16. You saw that we were kind of stretching there on what to spend our skill points on. The marginal value of the skill points decreases as you get more, and that's why I think right now the value point, at least for the cards I have, is at around that 4 extra races, 16 total. So this is what my Suzuka looks like. So in order to be a blocker and kind of deny the stamina of any Suzuka, what you'll need is groundwork and runaway. Well, I mean, obviously runaway, but groundwork and taking the lead. My groundwork is guaranteed through frontrunner, savvy, left-handed, and runaway. And then in order to win, at the very least, it'll need angling and scheming and unrestrained, which it has. And then the bonuses that help it win would be the 1200 speed, the duty of dignity calls, and BDM S. And it has 2 of those 3. The mid-race stuff also helps, which it'll have up-tempo and medium corners, but I think they're kind of the luxury parts of the build. If I didn't have those, but I had everything else, like if I had this identical Suzuka, but I dropped up-tempo and medium corners for medium S, I would take that. Okay, let's see what these races are like now. I guess I'll do one last review to show what we're racing with. So this is the Marozensky. It's the Marozensky from the video. It has shooting for victory, duty of dignity calls, angling, and scheming. So all 3 valuable alties with 2 of the excels based on kind of what's going on in the race. If she's a bit further back, she gets shooting for victory. If she's a bit farther forward, she gets angling and scheming if they're dying Suzukas. And then if she's really lucky, shooting for victory can carry her into angling and scheming. Some really strong mid-race. And then taking the lead and a bit of a lucky groundwork. It's not guaranteed, but it's very unlikely to not hit groundwork. The other thing we're racing with is this Saiyan Sky. It's taking the lead, wit checked groundwork, but really strong mid game, really strong stat line, medium S. And then if Duty of Dignity calls, if it hits the angling and scheming proc, it should probably win. I'd be surprised if it hit angling and scheming and didn't win. It would basically come down to just the fact that she's missing 43 speed. And the last one was the Suzuka we reviewed. This is a triple front comp. I did like having a backliner just because of the high roll potential, but what I saw in round 1 was when I lost to a Taiki. So I'm trying to deny that 3rd, 4th position, and hopefully only a front Taiki could get that 3rd, 4th position and beat me. I think I might also be vulnerable to Ogre Cap with Taiki ult given to it. Also a late gambler Ogre Cap could be really strong. I've seen some of my club mates have lost to that. We're the 1, 2, 3 favorite. I feel like this one's good. I think it's good luck. I don't normally watch at 1x speed, but we can watch at 1x speed for this. We're a solo Suzuka, so if she has a good unrestrained proc, she has a very high chance of winning. The Summer Maru is in a pretty good position, so I don't think we'll get the high roll Saiyan Sky angling and scheming proc, no matter what happens. Our Maruzensky's in 3rd, so that's pretty nice. Hopefully her red shift doesn't push her ahead of the other Summer Maruzensky, so that she can still proc her Taiki ult shooting for victory. Because I don't think she's beating Suzuka to catch the angling and scheming proc. But they are starting to close in on her, so it is maybe possible. The Summer Maru is actually denying the angling and scheming proc. I kind of need to take a look at that Summer Maru. It kind of owned that mid race really hard. Yeah, I'm not going to get the angling and scheming proc on Maru. This Summer Maru might actually take it. I'm very surprised. And it will. That's a crazy Summer Maru. I'm not exactly sure how it won. does it look like? 1124A? Medium straightaways. It doesn't even have DDC. I'm very unsure how it even caught up. 786 power, 625 wit. Maybe we're slightly dying from some nice nature debuffs? Is that his team? No, that's not even his team. He was also suffering the debuffs. I guess we're a bit more edged on stamina, so maybe our stamina took a bit more of a hit. I'm a little unsure. I think I will switch to 2x speed though. That was a little slow to watch a medium race at single. Yeah, I don't know why it overtook my Suzuka is edged on stamina, so maybe that's why. Oh, an S rank Summer Maru this time, and it is the #1 favorite in a good mood. That's a bit concerning. Two Suzukas mean they'll die. So I think the Summer Maru has a good chance of... Forgot to check if I procced Shooting for Victory. I might not have procced Shooting for Victory. That actually... I might have gotten wit checked on my Marzensky. I normally watch in 2x. I just thought the user experience might be better with 1x. Our Suzuka's really good at denying the proc, but then she dies. This is such a nice gap from her, but she's just gonna die and I already know it. Or she's kind of cruising. Alright. She had the perfect unrestrained, but I really thought she would have died. I guess the other Suzuka didn't quite... It looked like she caught up enough to actually duel my Suzuka, but I guess not. Oh, that's a really tanky Suzuka with a lot of stats. What is this? Oh, he ran a Super Creek and an MLB Rico. Okay. Then he has the normal other cards. Has mostly guaranteed groundwork, and then has taken the lead, and then it has 2 corners. Doesn't have DDC. Doesn't have I think I didn't see unrestrained, so it's not very good at like finishing. Alright, 1, 3, 4. That's pretty good. S rank Taiki's a bit concerning. Oh, there's even 2 Taikis, so one of them will be 4th place. That's pretty dangerous. Suzuka's stretching the fronts pretty hard though. Solo Suzuka might have a good shot. If her unrestrained proc is as good as last race, she'll have it in the bag. Alright. I didn't see the unrestrained proc, but I'm gonna assume that it hit because she is zooming. That Grass Wonder's coming. That's too fast! Oh, the Grass Wonder hit. I don't quite remember. I'll look it up after this. Medium S, Turf S. Maybe perfect on your left proc? I didn't see exactly why this accelerated so hard. Taikis were surprisingly ineffective. I only ran 1 extra race on her. I guess I got a lot of discounts. I must have had good turns, because normally I would try to take more races. I usually aim for that like 15, 16 area. Oh, I also get a bit scared of Suzuka, because I'm scared of throwing the win streak for Runaway. So the G1s I'm a bit more hesitant to take. Yeah, it's a bit heartbreaking. We need to win the next two to qualify in this heat. I'm surprised by what we're losing to, though. It doesn't feel like we should, and I'm not entirely sure what we're losing to. Like, the Summer Maru did not look that impressive, and either did that Grass Wonder. 146. A late and a pace Ogre cap. That Mino. Oh, she's just out so insanely wide. I feel like that's a dodging danger without any other thing to come back in. She was out so far. It looks like there's enough to I think there's enough to deny any early Taiki ults, maybe. The Unrestrained's a bit early from Suzuka. It's better to be early than late, I guess. Oh, maybe too early, actually. I think it had 0 effect. Alright, we're 1, 2, 3. This feels pretty solid. Yeah, Suzuka holds. There's a lot less Suzukas in this than I thought there would be. We've only faced one duel. Yeah, in dead turns, G1s are incredibly valuable. G2s and G3s are still a decent option. It's just I think you get three less stats and like 10 less skill points, something like that for a G2, G3 versus a G1. Oh, this is a 6 front runner, 3 pace lobby. Okay. And we're 2, 3, 4. What's in here? Oh, I forgot to check if that last one had. There's a Suzuka duel. The number 1 favorite's a Saiyan Sky. Interesting. I think the other Suzuka got blocked. I think it does not have groundwork in taking the lead. So it's kind of, this lobby's gonna act like I have a solo Suzuka, which is really good. Whatever number 3 is, they're kind of getting a little too close for comfort. I think it's the S ranks. It's the number 1 favorite Saiyan Sky. Hopefully she doesn't catch us for her angling and scheming proc, because I think that's crazy dangerous. The medium corners, we get the DDC. And we get the perfect unrestrained. I think she's gone. I think there's no shot anyone can take her. Yeah, that's a solid margin of victory. Like 2.5 lengths maybe. It's kind of hard to judge at 2x speed what the difference is. So we get our qualification. That's a good start. Now it's only 1.5. But that was an S plus Saiyan Sky, almost 16k. That's why I was coming for us. That's terrifying. Kiss for courage to catch up too. Okay, shooting for victory. Taking the lead. Wet conditions, frontrunner savvy and focus. Plus taking the lead for this groundwork proc. Medium S 1200. This thing is actually insane. Playtime's over for mid race. Frontrunner savvy, or frontrunner straightaways and medium corners and tail held high. He is a bit of a dolphin, and he got the guaranteed groundwork by running a Smart Falcon, but I guess he gets the stat line because he has MLB Biko and MLB Kita-san and MLB Rico. I see nothing wrong with this. I think this is just Saiyan Sky is not that good for this CM. Silent Suzukas are just too much. But that's that guy built a crazy Saiyan Sky. Well, we got our qualify, so everything beyond this is just gravy. Hopefully it just goes well though. I think round 1 we averaged 4 wins. So I'm hoping to at least average 3. Maybe that's greedy. Maybe 3 is a bit greedy. But that's what I want. We're the 2-3-4 with an S plus Maruzensky. That's quite concerning. We are a solo Silent Suzuka lobby. So that's... Oh, no, we're not. We're a Suzuka dual lobby. Okay, so they're probably both going to die. I think the S plus Maruzensky has a very strong chance of winning this lobby. Oh, we went to... Well, at least we denied the angling and scheming from the other Suzuka. But yeah, they're dead. Yeah, the S plus Maruzensky's too much. Pretty unfortunate we faced 2 S pluses in a row. 1200. You know, this one's less impressive because it doesn't have crazy high power. It's like a Wit Max S plus. Oh, and that's reflected. He's definitely way more of like a dolphin than the other guy. The other guy was maybe a whale. Yeah, still very good. Okay, they're 1, 2, 3 again. No more S pluses. Only an S ogre. Run pace. That's and in a bad mood. I think this is good. This feels good. No Suzuka duel, so that's also a really good sign. I think we got the inner rail start for Suzuka as well. Whatever 8 is the smart. Oh, the sparkly stardom. Okay, I guess you know Maruzensky's in a pretty prime position. Might be okay. Might need to take a look at the Smart Falcon after this race, though. Okay, we got the shooting for victory. I don't think we're gonna catch in time. Yeah, this Smart Falcon's kind of gone. What does it look like? Turf S, medium A, 14-4. Taking the lead, groundwork. Very Dolphin. Or maybe Lucky free to play as well, or reroll Kita-san free to play. No. Looks good. Not surprised that I lost to it. A little surprised how early it took the lead. The Sparkly Stardom being enough, but it is what it is. Alright, what are we this time? 125. I think only the Marozensky in a great mood is the main concern. Suzuka dual lobby. I feel like Suzuka should be dead, but she also has a crazy lead on the rest of the field. Yeah, she's way too dead. So it'll be up to Maru to win. The Measure Orion. Did it hit Let's Pump? Maybe. It came pretty fast. Yeah, really low wit. I feel like... Yeah, this is a nice free-to-play deck. I think if he spent a bit more, and could have been enough. His stats are just like a little weak, and it's just what it is when you have a limited account. He made the most out of what he had, and it was pretty good. Finally got our first win of the second set, so that's nice. You know, I didn't notice the swinging Maestro when I looked at it quickly. That is a lot of overkill for a backliner. Even the 911 just normal is overkill. I didn't see that he added swinging Maestro on top. Okay, he didn't make the most of it. Maybe he actually should have had a chance to win. One extra ability there. It was really low wit. 336 is like he never hit wit the entire run. I think Arcee and Sky might have a shot at this race because we have the dueling Suzukas. She's not too close to the front, but if they both die... Oh. Or she doesn't, and that Marozensky just takes it from us. Unfortunate. What does it look like? Yeah. Pretty standard. Has everything it needs. Stamina is a little edged with 713 and 1 white recovery, but it's not the worst. Dies to a single debuffer, probably. Or at least enough for the debuffer to have a shot. Yeah, 2, 3, 5. Dueling Suzukas. I think our Mars is in a pretty good position right now. It's between her and the Summer Maru, I think. Oh, that was a Taiki. Oh, it wasn't the Summer Maru. Okay, we lose to the Taiki. Even bringing 3 fronts, we lose to the Pace Taikis. I wonder what it overtook. Or was I the only other front? Yeah, one of the... Okay, so I must have had the first 4 positions, and then the Suzuka's died fast enough. But the Taiki still had a good ult. That was a really rough second round. See, normally here I'd consider countering what beat me, but I can't really tell the pattern of what's been beating me. Feels like just a variety of things, or things that I don't really know the solution to, like a front Maruzensky. It's just always good, and it's just down to RNG whether my Maruzensky or theirs wins. We did stop the Taikis from winning. Only 1 Taiki beat us, but I think we only played like 5 of them. Alright, Suzuka has a really big lead here with nobody to challenge her. So this one feels good. Okay, we got a really good unrestrained proc, so yeah, I think our Suzuka's just gone. Yeah, I needed that one. I felt bad after the last set, just 1 win across all 4, and not even like anything that I felt like I learned from. Like I actually can't tell what the pattern was of what beat me. That was a nice win to pick up. Alright, 125. At least you haven't seen any more S pluses. Those things terrify me. Those were surprisingly well built S pluses too. They weren't like stat farmed with random gold skills that aren't useful. Okay, we'll have a Suzuka duel most likely, and Maru's in 3rd, so that's looking kind of good. I don't know why our Saiyan Sky struggles so much to get up there. Oh, is his Suzuka going to be built to last? Because it has a really big lead right now. If it doesn't die... Okay, it's dead. My Maru's coming for it. That was looking dangerous for a second. How much... Like, it still finished 3rd. 920 and swinging Maestro. Yeah, that was close. Maybe if it had like a perfect unrestrained proc as well. Or maybe it just was too dead. Maybe for the last set we'll try the Grass Wonder, because we haven't really been losing to Taikis or even seeing that many Taikis. Alright, we're 1-2-4 again. Because the Grass Wonder is definitely strong enough to pick up wins. Alright, Suzuka duel. These Suzukas are so far ahead. If they didn't have stamina issues, they'd actually be like crazy. But here comes the Maruzensky. Oh, I think it blocked my Maruzensky for a bit. That might let the backliners catch up. The dying Suzuka. Okay, it's not enough. Alright, big turnaround from that second set. Oh, that one win was painful and concerning. But maybe the no pattern to why we lost just means we RNG'd. Because I still don't know why we lost all those. Okay, we're 2-4-5. There's a Taiki shuttle run pace. There's a nice nature. Maybe we should have paid more attention to debuffers and dominators. Maybe that's what was causing us to lose randomly. Now we're solo Suzuka lobby. Looking pretty good for Suzuka. For unrestrained proc is even close to perfect. I feel like she's got it. And Maruzensky's pretty good insurance. Okay, she gets the angling scheme. Unrestrained's a little late, but it probably still did something. So it's between her and the Maruzensky on the outside, I think. And I think she's got it. Oh, that was pretty close, I think. I think that was within one length. But she does take it. Oh, how close was it? Oh, it was a Taiki on the outside that actually came faster. Yeah, the most important thing is to not feel burnt out from the game. Round 2 is really hard. There are a lot of well-built Umas. So if you're struggling and it's a grind to try to remake your aces, and you can't really tell why you're losing, it might just be good just to run Oshis and enjoy the Champions Meet. I'm a little lucky here in that I think my Oshis are... Okay, one of my Oshis is Saiyan Sky, and then my other would be like Silent Suzuka, so it kind of works out really well. I don't care much for my Maruzensky, but you know, she's there. A big difference between round... This is actually probably one of the most refined round 2s I've seen in a while, where it feels like almost all the Umas that I see win are like pretty well built. Like even those S pluses, normally when I see S pluses, I'm like, it's just rating boosted by random gold skills that aren't that value, or like completely wit max with like 1200 wit and like 700 power or something. Just some random stat lines, or it's a guts max. But the S pluses have actually been good. And the A pluses have all been solid too. This feels like a pretty hard Champions Meet. I think besides an emergency Champions Meet where I went on vacation so I didn't actually have time to prep for, this has been... That one win I think has been the lowest I think I've ever had. But I also couldn't tell why I ended up at one win. And then I did end up at least 4 going for 5 right now, so I don't know. Maybe I just got completely RNG'd in the one win. And I just, you know, kept getting all the hard opponents. Alright, that other Silent Suzuka looks a little far behind to challenge for, like, actually pressuring... Oh, okay, she catches up. I was hoping she wouldn't catch up and I wouldn't be pressured on my stamina on my Suzuka. But they're dueling now, and that means they're both dead. Unless he has like 1,000 stamina and Swing Maestro or something. Who do I have as an opportunity? I think this is probably a loss. It's only the Saiyan Sky kind of have a chance. Angling and Scheming. Alright, Saiyan Sky. Can we go fishing just one time? Just once, Saiyan Sky? No, we cannot go fishing. And that means Summer Maru or Die with Scarlet take it here. Oh, I didn't even get to see that. That switched so fast. Yeah, I think if you don't have a Suzuka, this CM is like all gambling. Because actually, if you have a Taiki as well, Taikis are also very strong. Like, I think they are the theoretically strongest. But getting 3rd, 4th is very RNG, because sometimes there's a lot of fronts, sometimes it's a lot of backliners. Finding the right position of front or pace to get that 3rd, 4th proc for Taiki doesn't actually seem easy and seems very RNG. So let's see what we lost to. Is this a front Daiwa that doesn't have taking the lead? It only has early lead. And then it has Dodging Danger, Prudent Positioning combo, has Angling and Scheming. It probably got its Resplendent Red Ace, and a lot of mid-race. It actually looks pretty good. Alright, so our Saiyan Sky that was to deny Taikis doesn't seem like it... It maybe did its job because we didn't lose to Taikis, but we also didn't see very many Taikis. So we're gonna try this last one with my 14k Grass Wonder. Because I know she has the strength to win. The width's a little lower than I think I could have hit, but the power and speed both being almost 12k and medium S, I think it's hard to do better. And then she helps everyone. She has a tether. So her win condition is pumping some iron into red shifting. So a lot of content creators I saw decided not to recommend redshift because it's toward the front on the final corner or later. And that means as a front, you're in the 1 to 5 position, or a pace, you're in the 1-5 position at that final corner. So you proc it early, and then you don't get it in the late race, because the final corner begins in the mid race. But if you're playing a late gambler, your game plan is in late race hit Let's Pump at 6th, and then use that to move into 5th, and then you can redshift. The more reliable option definitely is to use the inherited ulti of Shooting for Victory, but I had a Medra Orion and I had a Marozensky that were both decent. So instead of using Boros, I could use non-Boro runs to do this, whereas Taiki I just don't own. So if I wanted to use Shooting for Victory, I'd need to use a Boro. And this gave me a bit more runs with it. I could high roll better, and this is what I ended up with. So I guess this set tells us whether we lose to Taikis or not. Yeah, if you're trying to make a last minute Taiki work, I think the easiest thing to do would be make a pace Taiki, and then if you have a decent Medra Orion, I think it's an interesting gamble. Because getting that 3rd, 4th position can be hard in lobbies. So maybe you could gamble on being a little further back, hitting the 6th, pumping Iron into the 3rd, 4th before the corner ends, and still getting Taiki ult. But you could just, you know, play it normally and have a strong Taiki, and then when she hits 3rd, 4th, she does likely win. Alright, this is the test. We immediately got a Taiki, run at pace. If we lose to a lot of Taikis here, then we know that our Saiyan Sky that has 0 wins was actually helpful. We're in a Suzuka duel. Oh, everyone's a backliner. That is just a giga gamble for who gets the Let's Pump. And right now I'm 6th, so that feels nice. Oh, thank you, JTR. Yeah, the production quality on that guide was a little rough because I really didn't think enough people would watch it, so I kind of just made it for people that were kind of like struggling out there, and I also don't really like the sound of my own voice, so I didn't really want to edit it. So I just kind of filmed it and threw it up. So the production quality was kind of lacking, and I'll try to fix that in the future. But I did like the content that I presented in it. Okay, it looks like Maru or Grass... Okay, Grass Wonder is going to take it. She's immediately proving that she's better than Saiyan Sky. Yeah, those are the strong, I think, free-to-play ideas, is if you have a Taiki, if you have a Silent Suzuka. But if you want a late gambler, Grass Wonder is fantastic because she has plus 20% speed, plus 10% power. So this was a high roll. So I actually managed to get almost 500 wit with no wit cards because I got some nice events. But yeah, and 400 is kind of the minimum. Like if it had 350, that's a little rough. You kind of need the skill activation rate to be a little bit higher on a gambler just because getting the positions is already a gamble. Like if you miss your follow-up redshift from your Let's Pump, it's kind of dead as a gamble for the most part. You really need to hit all your excels that are already position-based and difficult to hit, so you kind of want the wit to have a good chance of actually triggering it. 4, 5, 8, but nothing here looks outstanding, so this could be okay. Alright, there's another Taiki shuttle. Oh, this one's run front. That is more dangerous. Especially if there's... Yeah, there's 3 Suzukas. Oh, it's a triple Suzuka lobby. What I've seen in triple Suzuka lobbies, because we haven't run across one, I'll mention it now, but it's been interesting, because sometimes what happens is 2 Suzukas duel, and then the 3rd Suzuka hasn't dueled and used any stamina, and just gets to win. And it looks so stupid. You know, right now, our Suzuka... It kind of looks like all 3 are kind of interchanging their duels. It doesn't look like that situation might happen, but that is something that could happen. I'm glad you're doing well with this, CM. Yeah, our sets went pretty well so far, except for the second one. I think we did 3 wins to qualify, which was good, and then the second one was really rough. We ended up at 1 win, and I couldn't even like learn anything from it because I couldn't recognize why we lost. And then the third one, we just went 4 wins again, so I don't know. It might have... No, the Suzukas are definitely all dead. I think my Maru has it, or my Grass Wonder might come from behind for it, because she did look like she got a decent on your left. Okay. That was a pretty close finish. But Maru takes it. Alright, we're 129. Oh, an S rank Grass Wonder and Taiki Shuttle and Mayano Top Gun. I think this is a whale lobby. I think this one's going to be hard. Looks like a solo Suzuka lobby though, so that's pretty promising. Is that a... Did someone run a... I can't tell if my Maru is slow or that's a front Taiki and a front Ignis Tachyon. I'm interested by both. I think our Maru has pretty good positioning here, but there's a lot of backliners gambling for 6th. And ours is not one of the ones that has a shot. We didn't get a good unrestrained, so I think it's over for Suzuka. It looks like a Taiki win. If it's a front Taiki, we're not gonna... Okay, grass. Thank you for watching, Moon. Good night. Oh, my Maruzensky was just really slow. She was with the Pacers. Yeah. An S-rank Taiki. That is what I was most concerned about when running the Grass Wonder, so... I don't know if this means that the Grass is better or worse than Saiyan Sky yet, because Grass did also win a race and come close to winning a second race. Yeah, this is usually what I like doing with my lineups in round 1 and 2, is kind of playing around and seeing what works based on the meta at the higher ranks, because lobbies are just a lot of whales and whales that also try hard, so their stuff is well built and extremely statted. So I don't think it gives enough information to like free to plays. I haven't started looking at the next CM too hard yet. I think No Stopping Me is good, so I think Grass Wonder will be good, because what makes her really good is her bonuses, not really her herself. She's kind of a lot like Ogre Cap in that sense, where she has a decent ult, it does what it does, but it's really her growth rates that make her like an insane Uma. And then I think she probably has the best growth rate of any free-to-play Uma. You could maybe argue Gold Ships with, I think it's 20 stam, 10 power, but I think 20 speed, 10 power is better. It's definitely more versatile at least. Looks like the Suzukas will die, and my Maru... I think she'll get the angle and scheming proc, so I think she'll take this. I think she'll be able to beat my Suzuka fast enough. Yeah, if she gets the angling and scheming proc, that should be enough excel. But also, some of these backliners are really fast right now. Okay, Grass Wonder took it. Was that my Grass Wonder? It was. Cool. Okay, you know what? Grass is proving her worth right now. Because that was a lobby that Saiyan Sky would not have helped with. Yeah, kind of looks like Grass will be the final horse in my composition. I really thought when I rolled that S-rank Saiyan Sky it would do more. In round 1 it took a couple races, but it was still more denying Taiki alts. But I guess not enough people own Taikis for it to matter. Like a lot of these lobbies, either people don't like Taiki or they just don't own it. Yeah, I think, yeah, Grass is kind of the GOAT. I think she's it's between her and Gold Chip. I think Gold Chip is number one. Gold Chip's such an insane Uma. And then after that, it's Grass Wonder. I'll have to look at the free Umas again, but I think that's easily 1 and 2. Like, great growth rates, reliable ulties, flexibility. Yeah, sometimes the S ranks are a lie, because you can boost ratings in a lot of gamified ways. Oh, my Marzensky's already in first? Why? But, you know, she'll get her angling and scheming proc, so she'll probably win. I don't know why my Suzuka was so far behind. By free, I mean 1 and 2 star horses. Not like initial Umas. Because if you pull on like one Uma banner, you should be able to at least use statues to make a 3-star. So I guess it's different that way. But that's what I meant by free. It's not initial, but 1 and 2 star. Like, you don't need to get lucky to get it, you just need to get enough of them while pulling for other Umas. Alright, that's not what I wanted to click. So, you know, overall today went pretty well. The one win, I don't know what happened. But 3-1-4-4 is, if we ignore the 1, exactly what I was kind of expecting and hoping for, of like 3 wins to 3 to 4 wins. So this one's a 3-star, this one's a 3-star, this one's a 3. Gold Ship is a 2-star and really good. Oh, Measure Orion's up there, but like so hyper gambly on Let's Pump, and her growth rates are a little less than ideal, but not awful. That's a 3-star, that's a 3-star. Vodka's up there. Oh yeah, Christmas Ogre. I actually hate Ogres. Ogres are so dangerous and scary. They're so strong and flexible. Like, they work in so many situations. That's what I think makes them so ridiculous. Vodka's in consideration for best 1 to 2 star. Dai was really good. You know, Cygames did really balance it really well. Like, a lot of the 1 and 2 star Umas are like very playable and good. And I feel like the only ones that actually aren't are Matikane, but she's really funny to run. Haru, but she has her uses as like a debuffer, and she's a decent dirt horse, I guess, if you don't have dirt, which, I mean, I don't, so I will use her. And then, like, Winning Ticket. I think every other 1 and 2 star horse has, like, situations where they really shine. So I guess we can do some prep for Scorpio just to take like an initial look. So I'll switch to the browser. So how I usually do this is I open up an Umulator. I don't actually have the link on me right now, so I have to go bring that up. Okay, so this is like a pre-made link that I put up in my club. It's set up for a Gold Ship. We're going to get rid of all the Excel options and abilities and basically just make it basically just a stat horse. And then we're going to click Skill Chart. And this is going to tell us what the best acceleration options are, because they're going to have by far the best length improvement. So we see Encroaching Shadow, because the race starts on a straight, it's an instant proc. That is why our example, like, horse that we put in is Gold Ship for straightaway spurt. Let's Pump is always good. Moving Past and Beyond, the new Medro Dober alt, works well on this. It starts at the first corner. And the rest are kind of just general abilities. Sometimes you need to pay close attention to when it suggests stuff like Nimble Navigator, because they're very track dependent and the Umulator's not good at stimulating whether conditions are working, particularly ones that are based on what position you are, like Let's Pump. Like I could run a front runner, and it would probably still say Let's Pump is an option to hit. But that's entirely based on whether there's like 3 front Suzukas and another like 3 fronts that are weaker than you. Like it doesn't actually proc in practice to be a front runner with Let's Pump. The Umulator has like a rough idea of what positions you're in based on your style, but it's very hit or miss. You need to make a judgment call on the skill proc conditions, which is actually what my next video will be about, is kind of like looking at those skill proc positions and trying to manually analyze whether it's actually good or not. So those are kind of the options for End, is Encroaching Shadow and Straightaway Spurt, as well as the position-based Let's Pump and Moving Past and Beyond. We'll change it to Late, see what's good there. We still get Let's Pump, we get Moving Past and Beyond. We additionally pick up Fast and Furious, which I think is on Vodka by default, I think. So how we can do this is if we open up Game Taurus skill list, we'll look up, what's it called, sorry. It's called Fast and Furious. We see, oh, Fast and Furious is not on either, okay, it's on Winning Ticket or Special Week. Maybe this is a situation where Winning Ticket can shine. And then it's also on the Tamamo Cross SSR. This is probably too weak of a card in general to run, but it would be an option. Then this was a good track for No Stopping Me, so that's going to be your other choice. But just if you hit the Let's Pump and Moving Past and Beyond, that's kind of almost good enough on its own. So End and Late are very alive for those 2 reasons. Let's Pump, Moving Past and Beyond, and No Stopping Me are all good. So then it's kind of like a stat race and ulti race. Then we go to Pace. What options do we have here? Really bad options. I feel like Pace is not very good this upcoming CM. I think you're probably just relying on No Stopping Me. Because it doesn't really look like there are a lot of great acceleration options in here. Then if we go to Front, Runaway is just going to be super front, so I don't even look at it. So Front, Angling and Scheming is very alive. So this will probably be a front and end closer dominated CM with a little bit of late thrown in. And then Pace is still possible, but it looks like entirely whether you hit No Stopping Me or not. But Angling and Scheming looks crazy, and so did Straightaway Spurt into the position-based excels looked really good too. And that's kind of like the initial things I'll look at. Yeah, I also like Winning Ticket's design. It's really sad. She's like one of the few Umas that kind of doesn't feel like she even has a position to shine. Because if we look at like the Umas, a lot of them, the game's so well balanced. Like a lot of them are actually very usable, and you can definitely train your Oshis to win and everything. They're not always the best, but they're always good. Except for her. I hate Biwa Hayahide. When I first started, I just kind of pulled on banners and stuff, and I didn't really have a plan, because I'm not a gacha player. I'm more of a what's it called? I picked this game up because when I saw a VTuber play it, it was very much kind of like an auto battler. Like you run through a career building up your Uma and training and making good decisions and picking up skills, and then you watch them fight in a race. And so I think it's actually just an auto battler and not really too much of a gacha game. So I just kind of pulled on random stuff. And one of them was when I first started, a couple of weeks late, Biwa Hayahide. And look at these growth rates. 10 guts, 20 wit. Absolutely awful. Inherited our regular ulti. When passing another runner toward the front on the final corner or later, you get a velocity increase. But she runs pace. So that velocity increase will happen on the final corner. Maybe there's a position there where the final corner, you can have like speed carryover into an excel option. But it's so situational because you also have to pass on the final corner in that situation. And that means using strict mid-race skills to get that pass, to get win. Because if it happens in the late race, you're probably still going to be in the acceleration phase, and it's not going to do anything. But I think Biwa is actually in contention for one of, if not the worst, 3-star Uma. Medra Orion's a perfect parent. Daiwa and Vodka and Grass and are all competitively viable. Gold Chip's kind of the GOAT in viability. Alcondor passes good and an amazing parent. At least early in the game she was an amazing parent. I haven't seen Victoria Perplanche be good in a while. But there's definitely probably going to be tracks coming up that she'll be good again. Air Groove is a good debuffer, coming with a lot of... She's really good at stopping gold ships, so I think both gold ship CMs I ran a debuffing Air Groove. Just having guaranteed flustered end and hesitant end makes it a very strong start. Mayano's actually one of the best horses in the entire game throughout, just because of the fast learner event. We've kind of haven't hit that point, and I haven't personally experienced it, but that is what I've heard. I think Agnes is free. Yeah, I think she's a 1-2-star horse. She's really strong. Amazing growth rates, sort of. 20 speed is absolute top tier, and then Guts is kind of throwaway, but 20 speed makes it really good. And then there's Winning Ticket. 20... I guess this doesn't look too bad. And our Ticket to Win doesn't look too bad either. Maybe she's playable. Maybe I'll try to make a winning ticket that I run in round 1 just to see what she does and if she can win. Oh, if I owned Narita Taishin, I could have done the BMW combo. Bakushin is a solid sprinter. Super Creek has situations where she's really strong with Pure Heart, especially since they buffed it. Haru is a good debuffer on Long to stop Sleeping Lion, as well as probably an okay Dirt, especially now that they've changed late race recoveries to be decent. Matikane is pretty down there. So this ulti requires you to be blocked in front, but doesn't give you lane movement speed. So kind of, I think in practice what happens is you proc your ult, and then you just sit behind the person that blocked you. I think it's so bad. Nice Nature's the GOAT debuffer. And I assume King Halo will be decent in the sprint CM. I will probably use her. I don't know if she's going to be good. Her growth rates are kind of bad. But, you know, sprint A is good. Yeah. Okay, so I think I've gone over everything. I have my initial Sagittarius ideas, and I think I'm running Gold Ship and Saiyan Sky. I think those two are guaranteed. And then I think I don't want to run Silent Suzuka because I think she might just block my Saiyan Sky like she's kind of doing right now. So I kind of want something pace later end. Pace looked weak. So it'll be... Oh, you got beat by a King Halo Oshi player. You know what? I do really... King Halo is probably one of my Oshis. If I was more of an Oshi player, I would definitely run King Halo every once in a while. And I guess I'll get to try her out in the Sprint CM, because I don't have a lot of Sprint horses. I'll need to fix them, or run, like, these two. So even then, I actually need to take something. I guess this is where I can start. We're going to be doing a long for Sagittarius. You know, it might be Grass Wonder. Yeah, I think Grass Wonder is my third. I'll do a... Okay, End is not that fixable, so I'll just do a late Grass Wonder. Could even be a hybrid with Dominator. Maybe she has strong enough stat growth. Oh, she has Nimble Navigator. Oh no, she has Slick Surge built in and on your left. Right. Yeah, I think those will be my three. Gold Ship, Saiyan Sky, Grass Wonder. I don't need to fix any of the distance. That's actually really nice. So I've picked my lineup. I've kind of gone over why I would. And I've done my races. So I think I'm going to wrap up the stream. So if there's any kind of like questions, I'll cover them before I end. Give that like a minute or so. Okay. Thank you for watching, and have a good day or night, whatever.